the frozen tundra of Tampa Bay? Who the hell writes this crap? You've got the Mosh Jelton Show. From Tampa Bay to the world.
Yeah. What's poppin'? What's going on? It's shaking like the bacon. You guys are tuned in to Sunshine 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night. So that means you guys know you're listening to the Mosh Jelton Show, Creative Loafing, Best of the Bay 2023 Best FM Radio Show. And this year, we lost to Bubba the Love Sponge. So we got second best, but we're this year's second best FM. So you're listening to the second best FM radio show behind a man named Bubba the Love Sponge. And this is the Mosh Jelton Show. We get down every Tuesday night, and I am your host. Now with me, I've got my co-host, the esteemed
Ian
Buckshot.
Pow.
I need to get that shotgun noise ready for that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like so far away. I'd have to like skip through. I'm coming down here. All right, so we got my dog.
Ian
Buckshot. You know what I'm saying? That would be way sicker.
Even better.
We got a dope show. It's gonna be lit tonight. We have a local artist from Lakeland, Riverview rather.
Nice.
His name, the band name, we're gonna play two of his songs and we're gonna critique them.
Okay.
The band name, Blue Bonsai.
Whoa.
It's kind of fire.
That is pretty sick.
Blue Bonsai is lit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I feel a little disturbed.
Was that like a pun on names of bands?
No.
Oh. Well, it's going to be dope. They've got a song called Entropy, and they got a song called Blind Eyes. Oh. So we're going to play that. Sent me a really nice person in my messenger, and we got that. I was pulling up to my crib the other day on Friday, and there was a fist fight going on in the neighbor's yard, and I had to bring out a ladder. I'll just tell you that much. Diddy, what the hell is going on? And you like jazz.
Always. I love jazz.
So I Googled what's the number one jazz song of all time. What do you think they said?
That's hard, man.
But what do you think the popular vote would say? Because I don't know nothing about it. Let's see if you get it right.
The best jazz song, number one of all time, I'd have to say it would probably be like Louis Armstrong.
It's a song by Dave Brubeck.
Oh, Take Five.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through that. You're going to tell me what the hell I'm hearing. And then I'm going to give you one of my jams. And, we're going to have Raja in a little bit because Raja knows a thing or two about these damn hurricanes, bro. The hurricane relief effort out here in the Pasco County area, because we're broadcasting from Newport Richey, and we're about 4 or 5 miles from the coast.
Thereabouts, yeah.
We're about 2 miles from US 19. Mm-hmm. And it's brutal, bro. There's people this is the worst damage in my area I've ever seen. People on the other side, the west side of 19, and their entire existence was deleted by that hurricane. Just Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah, just evaporated.
And I'm getting hit up every day. Hey, we need hands. Mm-hmm. And, I can only do so much, but I feel so bad. You've seen all this crazy stuff.
Most definitely. I've even seen videos. I deal with a lot of customers. I'm in a customer service, position. And fortunately enough, a lot of people in our area haven't been directly affected, but people that they know, their lives have been completely destroyed.
What do you mean people in our area?
Well, like people in our surrounding area, like I would have to say within a 5-mile radius, because that's where I would imagine my clientele base lives.
So you're saying like within, because we're 5 miles essentially from the water. So
right. Like,
everybody from where you work to US 19 to Trinity, that's the radius you're talking about.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
Yeah. We didn't get much. We, like we said, the power was out a little bit, but that was it. And I don't know how long, excuse me, I don't know how long you've lived in Florida. How long have you lived in Florida?
I'd have to say most of my life, actually. I lived along the coast, but, around middle school, I moved down here and, well, actually, excuse me, moved down here in elementary school, third grade, and ever since then I lived in Florida. So for the past 10 years.
10 years, because
Yeah.
Ian Buck is only 21. A lot of people mistake him for a 46-year-old man. He's only 21. I remember Charlie, I believe it was. That was the only time that the roads that I remember were so flooded right here that I remember my father. I was like 5 years old. My father had to fix someone's car, and it was underwater essentially up until like maybe 2 feet. So he was grabbing tools and he would go and take a breath and then dive under there and trying to fix this car underwater. And I remember we were trying to drive down Seven Springs Boulevard, and our car had got filled up with water. I remember being scared. I was 5 years old. I was so scared because the water came up through the feet of the car as we're driving, and I'm like, yo, Daddy, there's water in the car. And we're almost to the crib, and the car just stops. And then right behind us, there was this big-ass Jeep. They're like, yo, come on, jump in. And so the Jeep drove us home. But this is people. I hope. Where the hell is all the help at, bro?
That's a great question. You would imagine that all these emergency responders and people on standby would be ready to act, but I don't know. I guess that the devastation is just so bad that, how would you access some of these areas other than by helicopter or boat?
Well, our areas over there, west of 19, kind of by Port Richey, that got obliterated. I mean, there should be. I don't understand why there hasn't been a quicker response from FEMA. Nothing political. Is that mic all right?
That mic's all right.
All right. Nothing political, but like, if we got worse, we send money to mad countries.
Right.
What the hell? We just got hit. Why aren't we getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you help us? Because we got hit with a hurricane.
Yeah.
And now they're not acting. But if it was another country that was in trouble, better believe a check would be written real quick.
Well, unfortunately, while I do agree with you with the whole FEMA thing, it seems in the past, probably still ongoing, that a lot of people pull from the FEMA fund that don't really need it.
You mean like individual people?
Those and corporations, right, is what I was hearing in the past. Now, I'm not going to name specific names.
Name them.
I won't Mosh, because I don't remember them.
Okay, so you don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, I don't want to get it wrong. But nevertheless, I've heard anecdotal stories of corporations and big businesses pulling from the FEMA fund saying, hey, we lost millions of dollars of product, but we're a $1 billion corporation. We need this to, return our lost revenue.
That's because the damn government doesn't vet well. They don't care about money.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Again, we're not trying to get into politics. Half the people in the world hate Elon Musk.
Whoa.
The other half like Elon Musk a lot. He just gave Starlink to all the people that were affected with their internet access. He gave them free Starlink, but for the money,
Yeah.
Elon was I think something about Trump or something. But if you got in Trump's cabinet, that they're gonna start a Department of Government Efficiency, to where there's gonna be people actually overseeing each dollar spent, to make sure there's not wastefulness, to make sure that the military isn't spending $52 per toilet paper roll.
Yeah.
Because somebody's getting kicked back there. You need a government oversight of the money. But what the problem is, what that may turn into is how to hide the money. It'll turn into instead of turning into let's make sure we don't spend too much, it'll be Orwellian. It'll be backwards.
And that is the sad reality, because unfortunately people are too critical of the government when it comes to necessary research and development, even when on the surface it seems useless, right, and more than necessary. So, for example, NASA funded the government. One of their projects that they funded was to develop a pen that would work in zero-G applications, right? Because traditionally a pen uses gravity to feed the ink down to the tip of the ballpoint, right?
How much does this cost? $100 million?
I would reckon it was a couple $1,000,000 in research and development. Nevertheless, what they got out of it was a product that was safe, reliable, and useful in all space applications. Before, when pencils and other products were being used, pencil shavings, little particles of graphite would fly off, which is flammable, and also in a zero-G application, you can inhale them, which is dangerous.
Right. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Just a little side note. How do you feel about the government doing R&D using animals?
I think it's necessary to an extent.
I do too.
Right.
I do too.
You can't get around that, because what are you going to use instead? A human?
Yeah, you don't start with a human. It's hilarious too. We'll get back to the hurricane. Obviously, that's not hilarious, but I am a hilarious person. Hurricane's not.
I second that.
I'm third.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have no idea what I was just about to say. To be honest, it wasn't you. I had it there. We were talking about R&D, and then we were talking about animals. Oh, I got it. The professional radio guy forgets, then remembers.
Yes.
The only debate I can't win is vegan. Vegans beat me in debates all the time, and it hurts me.
Well, I got a good argument for that.
For or against veganism?
Well, I guess it would be just eating the way you want to eat. I don't think that there's a reason telling people to eat how they want to eat. You know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to go eat meat, they can go do that.
Yeah, but the argument is, watch.
Tell me the argument, Mosh.
So, I do professional debate, right?
Always.
So I will debate the vegan and lose, and then I can take the vegan side and win. So I'm going to be the vegan.
Be that vegan.
And you're going to try to sway the people and me into, I'm going to try to sway you. So I will give the assertion, and then you can go. So it is immoral to eat meat. What do you respond? Do you agree with that?
No.
Tell me why.
Because when people go to the store and they buy meat, it disassociates them from the reality of the situation of having to kill an animal. Nevertheless, it doesn't make it immoral to do so.
Yeah, but you're just repeating that it's not immoral. So I will assert why it's immoral, and then I want you to tell me whether you agree with me. If all of humanity could essentially live on fruits, vegetables, we've got enough. The amount of grain and stuff that we feed the animals that we eat with would be enough. There's in 2025, 2024, killing animals in mass at all it's not necessary. So that's the argument that gets me, is that it's not necessary to kill the animals. So essentially, because you want to eat something that tastes good, you're ready to take a life when you don't need it. If you're in the woods, right, and you're lost and you're starving and you need to eat food, you got to get the animal, whatever that I get. But like when you're in civilization, what's the excuse? I'll start here. Do you think it's moral to kill an animal?
I don't think it holds the same weight as taking a human life.
That's a straw man. What you just did that's not the question I asked you. Is it immoral? Do you think it's immoral to kill an animal?
No.
You don't think? So if I walked up and I just stab a dog, that's fine with you. You cool with that?
I wouldn't make me happy, but it wouldn't.
Why? It's immoral. What's immoral about, or what's
the? I guess the reason, or my reasoning behind saying it's moral is what the overarching reasoning behind taking the life of the animal, I guess you'd say.
So you're saying the moral the morality depends on why you're killing the animal.
Right. If it's for a sadistic nature in order to get a fix off of hurting or injuring another living being, no, that's not moral. Of course not. Doing something sadistic is never moral. But let's say, for example, you're raising a coop of chickens.
Okay.
One of the chickens is sick. Well, you can't have that sick chicken living around in the coop with the other chickens. It's going to get all the other
Sure,
chickens
extenuating circumstance, you got to put that chicken down. But
Exactly.
the other chickens are all going to be raised without that, and they're all going to be killed. And the thing is, if we know that we could live without killing animals, how can we justify still killing animals without using religion?
Well, I don't think that there needs to be a justification to use animals as a food source. I think that it just makes sense.
So you don't value the life of the animal.
Well, other than as a food source, not really. I don't think that, like, okay, a cow is going to be an accountant. I don't think a dog is going to fly airplanes. I don't think a chicken is going to be a taxi driver.
Yeah, but they still have a life. So what about you? What if I didn't think you were going to be any of that, but you look tasty? Why if I can kill an animal, you're an animal, why can't I do that? Why is that immoral?
Well, again, like I was saying, I don't think that taking animal life has the same weight as taking a human life.
But you didn't explain why.
Well, the reason being is because a human life without any religion explained is a complex, self-conscious individual who has developmental control of their environment.
So consciousness is where the line is.
Right. Even though, for example, right, they say dolphins, elephants, all these other animals are really intelligent and they have extremely complex forms of communication. They do not have ways to manipulate and change their environment.
Okay, so what about a toddler? They don't have ways to manipulate and change their environment.
But it doesn't mean that their life is useless.
And then it doesn't mean that the animal's life is useless. So essentially, where it would end up being is these debates usually end up with sentience. The pro-veganist will say that animal feels pain. You wouldn't do that to a dog. You wouldn't. The animal is self-aware. It's sentient. And since we don't need to eat it for survival, why? And most people are just like, the response is usually, I mean, humans are better than animals. We're completely different.
Well, my argument to the animals feel pain, right, is that's 100% true. Guess what, though? Plants feel pain, too. That's
I don't know.
No, for real. Science shows that when a plant is cut, damaged, bruised, it releases chemical hormones, which shows signs of it being stressed.
It may have signs of being stressed, but does it feel pain? That's neurons. Pain is a neuron firing from an area of discomfort to your brain.
So that's a very deep argument. Okay, so plants alive, doesn't it feel pain? Right? That smell that you smell when fresh grass is being cut, that is a chemical that's being released in response to the grass being cut.
There's definitely a consequence of the grass being cut, but
Right.
pain, if we're going to keep the semantics right, and the AI says no, plants do not experience pain. They don't have pain receptors. Studies show that plants can feel touch as light as a caterpillar's footsteps, but pain specifically is a defense mechanism. This one says plants do not feel pain because they do not have brain for any signals to be sent to. So anyway, it's an interesting debate, and you could see how both sides can.
Well, that's the debate, right? Because just because they don't have pain receptors in what we perceive as the normal sense from a human standpoint, how do we know that from a plant standpoint? Right?
Because they don't have a brain.
But how do you know, right? We don't know how plants function.
We know. How do I know a plant doesn't have a brain?
Well, we've only just recently figured out that the fungal networks underground connects plants for miles. So we have really little understanding of
They've got
this
a
work.
they've got a genetic code that is written in everything, just like DNA, and that DNA tells them where to go. So that would be like saying if we didn't have a brain, but we had the DNA that makes us. Anyways, it's a very interesting debate. We've gone on with the veganist stuff. The hurricane, though, before we let up, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
There's the hurricane, or what is it, Tropical Storm Milton.
Yeah, I think it's already developed into a Category 4 hurricane, or at least they're expecting it to be when it hits tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I don't know how. Dude, we can't deal with another hurricane right now, bro.
No, especially after all these areas haven't recovered yet. Where are they going to hunker down in their dilapidated homes scattered across Florida?
And if the damn government is not ready for this, like they've already been hit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know there's another one coming.
Yeah.
You guys got to get on this. It shouldn't be where people's houses are destroyed and they got to call everyone in the community. It's all the communal when there's a disaster, but which is fine. That's good that the community gets together and helps.
Right.
But geez, man, come on, Govey.
Only when there's a disaster? Come on.
I mean, even only when there's a disaster, but they are not even doing nothing much for this disaster.
Exactly, man. I'm not going to say names, but it seems like now versus in past hurricanes, the response of the government is completely night and day. It's sad.
I completely agree. All right, well, I hope everybody is doing okay from the hurricane. If you guys just want to talk or anything like that, just hit us up on the Facebooks, The Mosh Jelton Show. You guys are tuned in to Sunshine 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. Every Tuesday night at 11 p.m., the Mosh Jelton Show pops off. It's Mosh Jelton, Ian Buck.
Yeah.
And you guys do know that this is Radio St. Pete, 96.7 FM, and it's where local music lives. So we've got some local music. Like I was telling you, Blue Bonsai.
Yeah.
They sent me some tracks. I said, hey, we're going to check them out. We're going to tell you what we think about them. They're from Riverview, like I had said. And we're going to go to the first one. Their first song is called Entropy.
Ooh.
It's a local band from Riverview. And we're going to song number 1. This is Entropy by Blue Bonsai.
It has been 4 years asleep with the dead. It hurts to forget. You're tracing on my fingers fade away. Polaroid promises ache and fade away. Should you hear this? I failed us both. For a sake away.
Very good track. That was Blue Bonsai. That's Entropy.
Nice.
My first take on it, not my fifth take. My first take is, because it's a good song. Good song. I liked it. I think I don't know if it's just the way it played through here, but I would have loved to hear the vocalist get a little bit more wild, dun, 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 like get real crazy with it. Because other than that, I feel like that song, as good of a song as it is, it could get lost in a wallflower of other songs that sound like it, unless like nothing really stuck out to make me go,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just gonna get lost in the wonder wall.
How did you feel about Blue Bonsai's Entropy?
I feel like it was a very mellow song. It had great harmonization. The vocalist was in tune with the background music, but as you were saying, if he was more passionate and giving more like musical inflections where,
Yeah, and I feel
You
like
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like he would rebuttal with, "Well, I was passionate. You heard me say no. Get more passionate.
More.
I want to hear you go. I want to hear you get it. I want if it's I'm running. I want it to be I'm running. I'm go. I wanted you to scream, man, get down. But overall,
Right.
not a bad song. Not a bad song.
And maybe that's his style, but it just seemed like he would, again, like some of the other local musicians we've heard, the vocalist is getting drowned out by the background music. They need to really emphasize.
The vocalist.
Right, because that's what really makes a good band.
Absolutely. And like Rob McManus says,
Come on down,
come on down, come on down, it's cool. Come on down, come on down, come on down, it's cool. That's the number one song we've been sent, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Rob McManus, come on down. But that's all right because, you know what? Not like we said, we're not saying it's a bad song, but got to jump on it. There's another song, though. This is called Blind Eyes.
Whoa.
By Blue Bonsai. Blind Eyes. This is the second song, and we're going to compare and contrast to the first song. And here we go.
How can you still enjoy life after what you just witnessed?
Okay.
They're getting it.
straight carcass on the road. 14 days, far too long.
Why can't I barely hear the vocalist?
I thought he was going to come in so strong, especially with the drums and everything, and then he's like,
Let's hear.
What would you think if it was yours? Now
What did he say there?
I don't know, something that fits yours, I think.
I heard the word yours.
Same.
They got listen, Bonsai, man. Bump up them vocals.
Yeah.
Bump them damn vocals up, brother.
it hurts. The tables have turned. Lack of kindness blinds you, and so it blinds your eyes. Fear breaks all of us.
This song is way better than the other one. It's just the vocal problem. This is fire.
Yeah.
This is real fire.
Life should not end like this. On a plastic bag. Unfair to end like this. Mixed up in the trash.
Bonsai, Blind Eyes.
Blue Bonsai.
Blue Bonsai, rather. Blind Eyes. That was a good song. I would say that song was much better. I loved, it's just funny. I loved the vocals, and I loved the music, the musicality behind the vocals. Just turn the vocals up.
Yeah.
And I'd be jamming. I was headbanging. That reminds me of some Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Just straight demolish, man. I thought it was fire, man.
That does sound like a song you would catch in a skating game. I agree.
What'd you think about the song?
It was amazing. They were going hard. It reminded me of like a great rock song that you would just flick on classic rock and it would just be putting on the radio. But again, with the vocals, they need to tune that up a bit.
Tune up the vocals?
Tune up them vocals.
That's kind of what I agree. But definitely good stuff. We got to give it up for Blue Bonsai. Definitely good stuff. For sure. I do want to hear that jazz song, and I do want to show you some other stuff. So we're going to get to that, but let's hear a few words.
Ooh.
Tuesday nights from 11 p.m. to midnight, The Mosh Jelton Show airs on Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete, featuring late night talk radio, music critique, and your mother. Not near St. Pete? Listen in at radiostpete.com. The Mosh Jelton Show, Tuesday nights from 11 p.m. to midnight on Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete, where local music lives.
What's up? It's Mosh Jelton here, and I totally remember when I didn't like anybody on the radio. I thought everybody sucked. I thought I could do way better, and here I am 6 months later, and I feel like I'm doing way better. You should tune in to the Mosh Jelton Show Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. to midnight to hear the best, the most bombastic, and really the stuff that people won't say because they're scared to get canceled, but we'll toe the line because the Mosh Jelton Show is a little bit crazy. So tune into the Mosh Jelton Show Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. on Sunshine 96.7 FM. That's what you do.
What up? It's Beatbox Bob, and I'm gonna tell you, the only thing that's sicker than me...
Bob, are you sick?
Oh, I'm sick as can be.
Your voice sounds horrible.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm doing the liner anyway because that's how much I care.
Do the liner, bro. Go ahead.
The Mosh Jelton Show is the sickest show this side of the Mississippi, I promise you. Tune into the Mosh Jelton Show. It is sick.
Tuesday nights from 11 p.m. to midnight, The Mosh Jelton Show airs on Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete, featuring late night talk radio, music critique, and your mother. Not near St. Pete? Listen in at radiostpete.com. The Mosh Jelton Show, Tuesday nights from 11 p.m. to midnight on Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete, where local music lives.
You like good radio, right, Bob?
I love good radio.
Should we put on good radio?
We should only put on good radio.
Let's only put on good radio.
Put on good radio now and forever.
Which show puts on only good radio?
The Mosh Jelton Show puts on only good radio.
The Mosh Jelton Show pops off every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. on Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. And if you're not near St. Pete, all you got to do is go to radiostpete.com. So, Bob, are we great?
We're great.
Not only are we great,
we're the best.
And we're professionals. Welcome back to the Mosh Jelton Show, or let's welcome it back the way that we welcome ourselves back.
Hey, you're listening to the Methamphetamine Hour, also known as the Mosh Jelton Show. This your boy Johnny B from 102.5 The Bone. This is the show I listen to when I think about hitting people.
Welcome back. Well, we're still here. It's the Mosh Jelton Show every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. right here on Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. Also, don't forget, the Mosh Jelton Show airs 2 hours live every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. right here at radiostpete.com. So Yeah, Radio St. If you find yourself not near St. Pete and you still want to listen, you go to radiostpete.com and you guys can get the Mosh Jelton Show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be a Mosh Jelton Show unless I got to an edge. So let me just think of a provocative question or a provocative thing I can ask you.
All right.
Would you go? Let's say you're heterosexual, right?
Yeah, I don't like guys. I like women.
Right.
We'll just put it like that.
I got you. So are you more of a top guy? Like, are you more of a bust, or are you more of a back side?
You mean like?
What do you prefer? In a very radio way.
So,
like, if you were looking at a chick,
okay,
which you said it was a chick. If you were looking at a chick,
most definitely,
and one of them was top heavy, but the other one was bottom heavy.
I see.
Which one would you go for first?
Well, I think the more deliberate idea, right, when it comes to that is, what are you going to see more often? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you prefer as that sort of fella? And for me, I guess I'm more of a bottom-heavy sort of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Backside?
Yeah.
360 flip to, backside.
Yeah, make her pick up the pencil for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely a backside 350 Smith grind type of guy. I do enjoy the top.
Of course.
But if I had to pick, it would be the back. Unless there was no top, then I'd be like, well, no, I still wouldn't even care. Like a rump. Keep that rump, bro. Anyways, I took it to a place where I straddled the edge, kind of like I straddle those bottom heavy chicks.
Ooh.
And we're straddling. So there's your piece of sensational content. Mosh Jelton talking about sexuality. I may or may not have done stuff with guys. Now, you like jazz.
Of course. I love jazz.
I know about nothing about jazz. Like, I know that they use clarinets and oboes and...
You know what they call a clarinet in a jazz band?
What's that?
The old licorice stick.
Do they?
Yeah.
What do you play?
I play the saxophone.
You play the sax?
Yeah, I was a baritone saxophone player in my jazz band.
You know where this is going to go real quick?
Real quick.
Let's see if we can do it. Let's see how professionally we can do this. All right, so you play the sax?
Mm-hmm.
So you blow the sax?
I always blow that sax.
So when you blow the sax,
mm-hmm.
is there a lot of... Do you spit a lot in the sax?
Well, actually, that's a misnomer. You don't spit in the sax. The hot breath from your mouth creates condensation, gets the saxophone all nice and moist. But the thing that does get all the spit is the mouthpiece, right? So you got to get that piece of reed. You got to get that piece of wood, which is a piece of cane, right? It's a reed.
Yeah, wood in the sax.
You know what I'm saying? Get that wood in your mouth first.
You got to put the wood in your mouth so you can play the sax.
That's the first step of playing the saxophone, is putting the wood in the mouth.
Do you like big reed or a small reed?
Well, since I played the bari sax, and the mouthpiece is the biggest mouthpiece of the saxophone family.
So you like the biggest wooden...
I like that big wood, bro.
Big wood.
Yeah.
And you blow sax. Sometimes there's saliva.
Always.
Well, I looked up, like we said, I said, all right, let's see if Buck can teach me something about jazz here. Because, again, Sunshine 96.7 FM, we do it all. Rock and jazz. Some
Just
hip-hop.
those two?
Some hip-hop. And, yeah, we do it all. We do it all. Not a lot of country. I don't know much about country, but I don't know much about jazz. So I'm going to play some of this song. You know this song, Take 5, by Dave Brubeck.
Yeah.
Seems like a very old song.
It's a very popular jazz song.
Well, let's see if I can. Let's see if I notice it. Let's see here. This is Take 5.
High end range of the saxophone, yes.
That's the high end range of the piece of equipment, or the high end range of somebody playing it.
Yes, of the latter, of the somebody playing saxophone. So you got different octaves of a saxophone, and then you can make it go lower or higher, and he's playing in the higher range.
Kind of like putting a capo on a guitar.
Precisely.
Gotcha. All right, let's check.
Yeah.
I heard a piano in the beginning.
Yeah. And the bass.
And the bass?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Let's see if we can hear It reminds me of film noir. It's like some dude, some detective in a black and white movie is walking into a bar.
Mm-hmm.
So jazz is, when would be like the appropriate time for a typical, not an enthusiast, but like, when do you turn on jazz? Is it like I just broke up with someone, so I turn on jazz? Is it I want to be? I feel like you play jazz if you want to reach your inner distinguishedness. Like, when would I play jazz to get pumped for something or to get a feeling?
Well, for me, if I'm trying to get that feeling, that feeling like, oh yeah, I'm the ish, I'm the best, and I'm getting dressed to the nines, I'm going out to an event, I'm gonna be having jazz playing on in the background while I'm getting ready. That way when I'm walking out the door, I got that beat in my head, and I'm walking with a nice funk, and everybody's like, yeah, bopping my head. Nobody knows why. I'm a little crazy, but that's okay, because I'm downright funky.
It's just clicking.
Yeah.
We've played it before, but the one on You Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh.
That was a great jazz song. Let me just hear a little bit more of this. This is Dave Brubeck, Take 5. One thing I do like is that it's not a trance. It's not verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It's it's like a piece.
Yeah.
It's like Mozart and Tchaikovsky. And yeah, I could probably get into it, but the way that I would see myself getting into jazz is like something that I would like. I could never picture myself listening to jazz with somebody else.
No?
No, I feel like it's just, it's like something you listen to when you're sitting at the bar by yourself, trying to think very deeply about something.
I guess so. I'm always thinking deeply, so it's my kind of music. I'm that deep kind of guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was dope, man. I'll give you some credits for that, man. I thought it was dope. I didn't recognize the song, and they said it was supposedly one of the biggest songs that there are in jazz.
Is. And I'll tell you this about jazz, Mosh. The main reason why I love playing jazz, and I guess that extends into listening to jazz, is because it's not all the same. You listen to 2, 3, however many different iterations of the song Take 5, as an example. Everybody plays it a little differently. And the reason being is because you have the same chords, you have the same intro, so to say, like the same set of notes to introduce the song. But after that point, dude, it's all you. It's all improvisation. Jazz is improv, right? So when you go and you listen to somebody play jazz, it's their interpretation.
It's almost like guitar solos every time.
Oh yeah.
Just freestyle guitar solos.
Exactly.
What do you know the scale? Do you know like do re mi? Could you do that out loud right now?
What? Do re mi fa sol la ti da.
Is that did you think you hit that right?
No, I'm not a vocalist.
Tell me this sounds good. Do re mi fa sol la ti da.
That was pretty good.
Not bad.
That was fire. I think it was better than me.
Do re mi fa sol la ti da. When I'm singing and I'm trying to do something like when I'm trying to get, like, if I'm gonna do something real loud, like for instance, I don't even have the guitar in here, but like if I'm doing like All Apologies by Nirvana.
Okay.
You know the song?
No.
What else could I be? All in the sun. In the sun, I feel this one. You don't know?
No.
All right. What about, with the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are. You know that one?
Sounds familiar. Getting closer.
Okay, I'll help you out. Like when I do a Nirvana song, it's called what's it called? What's the last Nirvana song that was ever released?
I don't know Nirvana, man.
Entertain these people while I go grab my guitar.
Man, he's talking about Nirvana. I don't know anything about these rock bands that he keeps bringing up. Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkin. I know like Linkin Park, Three Doors Down. All these other ones he just keeps bringing up. I'm more of a jazz kind of guy, like he was saying. That Take 5 was downright funky. It's more of my kind of style, folks. You see, as a jazz musician, the intonations and the harmonizations of the various musical instruments normally found in a jazz band really tickles my fancy. So I guess Mosh is going to have to show me what sort of song he's talking about with this Nirvana.
Well, I'm talking about just with vocals because I got a deep voice and I smoke cigarettes like an idiot. So, like, my voice will crack. I actually don't have a voice now. So, what I think a lot of people, when they hit the high notes, they get louder.
Yeah.
So, what I do is I start with my vocals low. You know what I'm saying? If I can play... Like, here's a song that you would know, and they scream, it's like, hit the motor running, head out on the highway. You know that one?
I've heard it. I don't know the lyrics, unfortunately.
So watch how I'll try to keep my vocals low, but I'll still hit the pitch. It goes, get your motor running, head out on the highway. For adventure and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, gonna make it happen. Find yourself in a love embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space like a true nature's child. I was born to be wild. I can fly so high. I never wanna die. Born to be wild. That's the part. Can you hit that? Let's do it without the guitar. Let me see if you can hit that.
All right. Now I know what you're talking about.
Hit that, Born to be Wild.
Born to be wild.
Scream it, dog.
Scream it?
Yeah, like, let me see if I can scream it. Born to be wild. And the hardest part is that when he says wild, he does a roll. Wild. So he's like, born to be wild. But yeah, so I found that if you keep your vocals low when you go to hit them high spots, it's really good. I'll have to look at more jazz. We are cranking through and running out of time.
Whoa.
Here's a song. I don't know if you've heard it. This is from my era. This is a banger. Have you ever heard of the band Taking Back Sunday?
No.
Do you like any kind of punk, Blink-182-ish type stuff?
Occasionally. Somewhat, not like my normal cup of tea, but I'll listen to it.
This song probably came out when you were 4.
Then I probably have never heard it.
Check this out. This is Taking Back Sunday. Make damn sure. This, I guarantee you it is.
You've got this new head filled up with smoke. I got my veins all tangled close to the jukebox bars you frequent, the safest place to hide. A long night spent with your most obvious weakness. You start shaking at the thought. You are everything I want, 'cause you are everything I'm not.
Here we go.
We like together, just not too close, too close. Close is close enough.
fire, right? Out my hungry eyes. How close is close enough? I just wanna break you down so badly. Everything you say. I just wanna break you down so badly. In the That's the type of jams I was growing up banging out, bro.
Oh yeah, man. I actually have heard that song before.
Yeah, I've heard it. I figured you might.
Yeah.
Before we go, I know I said that I was going to talk about a fight that happened, so we've got about 2 minutes. So let me tell you this. I came home, I pulled up, somebody was following me close. It was a little weird, and then I pulled into the crib and they stopped right in the front and someone got out. And then two chicks started fighting right across the street from my house.
Whoa.
And I'm sitting there, and I can tell it's like some sort of like, they know each other. They could be sisters. They could be best friends. And nobody was really getting hurt or anything. And they were just yelling so loud. So I go back to my criminal ways, and I'm standing out there in the front just making sure, looking down the road, making sure the rich people ain't calling the cops.
Ooh.
Because they're just yelling, and they happen to be black. So, people are, I think people are probably more prone to calling the cops on that. I don't know. I'm not saying that there's racism. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? The cops these days and stuff, so I don't want them calling the cops. So I'm looking around, and after it's about over, it's getting over, and the dude's like, there was one big dude there, and he's like, hey, man, you got a ladder? And I'm like, yeah, what kind? He's like, a ladder. And I'm like, how big, bro? And he's like,
yeah,
we got to get on the roof. She threw the keys and the phone on the roof.
Bruh.
So they threw her keys on the phone. So I'm just in the middle I just grab my ladder like nothing's happening and climb up there. They're screaming, whatever. And I get the keys and the phone, and they leave. The cops did come. Somebody ended up calling. Nobody was really hurt. But when the cop came over, he knocked on the door and said, are you Josh? Now, I don't know. I didn't think they knew my name.
Whoa.
So I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what's your last name? And I said, Melton. And he goes, oh, you have anything to do with the Mosh Jelton show?
Oh.
The cop said that to me.
Let's go.
And I'm like, yeah, man, that's us, bro. And he's like, oh, hell yeah, bro. You got the studio, bro? Or I'll show you the studio. And so I brought him in. I showed the cop the studio. He's a very nice guy. I believe his last name was McCullough. I'm not 100% sure. But the cop knew us. And what did I tell him? I was like, I didn't see anybody hit, because I didn't see anybody hit nobody. And I was like, it was just noise. And then that was it. But crazy things, man. Fighting in the front. Cop knows who we are. We're lit, bro. We're starting to... And this YouTube monetization that we're about to do is going to take us to the next, bro.
Dude, we're going to be able to pump out all sorts of content on that YouTube.
We need to film you blowing saxophones everywhere.
Dude, get that wet reed all in my mouth. Get that on camera. Entertaining the public. It'll be a spectacle.
Yeah, this has been your best two chair because when I've been talking to you, a lot of times I see you're not worried about exactly what I just said and how to respond. You've got another idea coming up, and you're pushing that too.
Right.
So you did really well. Ian Buck, we're getting Ian Buck will be big in Tampa Bay radio. He's 21. He's already with the big dogs. He's already learning from the best, and he's already making the right moves, bro. So I got to congratulate you one more time, bro. You're kicking ass, man. Thank you. Sunshine, 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete. Every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. to midnight, the Mosh Jelton Show pops off right here on Sunshine 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, as well as RadioSt.Pete.com, where you can catch the Mosh Jelton Show every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. live right here at RadioSt.Pete.com. Mosh Jelton, Ian Buck, thanks for having us, and we will see you guys next time.
From the frozen tundra of Tampa Bay, who the hell writes this crap? You've got the Mosh Jelton Show. From Tampa Bay to the world.
Are you going to bring that to the wizard? Are you going to bring that to the wizard?
Hey, you're listening to the Methamphetamine Hour.